The following video is intended for mature audiences. It contains horror elements, adult themes, and language that might not be suitable for younger viewers. Welcome back to another disturbing journey in the southern underworld. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like, comment, subscribe, and share this devilish delight with your horror friends and fam. Engagement is essential, and it helps our little channel grow. Occasionally, a horror film bursts onto the scene claiming to redefine its genre, promising to chill the audience and shake even the most hardened horror fans. One such movie is Trick or Treat, a 2007 anthology horror film directed by Michael Dougherty. This film was marketed as an innovative take on the anthology format, intertwining several related stories that occur on a single Halloween night in a typical American town. The movie entices viewers with the promise of an exceptionally terrifying experience, an experience similar to unfolding a suspenseful, horrifying folktale full of unexpected twists. However, for some viewers, this promise is unfulfilled. With its star-studded cast and a mischievous but threatening mascot named Sam, a figure dressed in burlap who punishes those who ignore Halloween traditions, Trick or Treat seemed destined to become a cult classic. But beneath its apparent allure and visual flair lies a movie that leaves some viewers feeling somewhat underwhelmed. It struggles to establish a cohesive narrative and fails to provide the emotional depth and psychological complexity that could have elevated it beyond just another collection of scary tales. From the start, Trick or Treat seems to have all the necessary elements for creating a successful horror anthology. The setting is perfect, a small town illuminated by jack-o'-lanterns where life and death blur as night falls. The opening sequence, with its nod to classic horror, suggests that this film understands horror aesthetics and can use them effectively. However, as Trick or Treat progresses, it becomes clear that style outweighs substance. The narrative is divided into loosely linked stories that interweave throughout the night. Each tale aims to explore different aspects of Halloween folklore: werewolves, ghosts, serial killers, and an evil school principal. But the film's episodic structure hinders its ability to create an ongoing sense of dread. Instead of building tension slowly, the film often switches between stories, breaking any building suspense. This narrative fragmentation makes it difficult for viewers to fully engage with the characters or their situations. Just when one story starts to pick up, the film suddenly changes to another, leaving viewers disoriented and detached. One of horror's greatest strengths is its ability to tap into deep-seated psychological fears. Unfortunately, Trick or Treat barely delves beneath its narrative surface to explore these psychological dimensions. The film seems content with delivering superficial scares, relying on jump cuts, sudden reveals, and gore as its main fear-inducing techniques, rather than exploring more disturbing and complex aspects of human psychology. The characters in Trick or Treat are largely flat. They serve as archetypes, rather than fully developed individuals. We see the prudish virgin, the rebellious teenager, and the sinister authority figure, all standard tropes within horror genre narratives. While archetypes can be effective storytelling devices when used thoughtfully, here they feel uninspired and lack depth. Furthermore, the film's treatment of its themes feels shallow at best. Halloween carries a wealth of symbolic potential. It represents a night where boundaries blur, a time for confronting mortality and exploring those transitional spaces between reality and imagination. Trick or Treat makes brief gestures toward these concepts, but fails to delve into them meaningfully. Instead, it chooses a more straightforward approach to horror, one more focused on visual shock than examining the darker undercurrents. Trick or Treat ambitiously attempts to blend folklore and Halloween traditions into its narrative, laying the groundwork for the ensuing horror. The film's unique aspect is the idea that breaking Halloween's sacred rules can lead to deadly consequences. However, this captivating concept feels underdeveloped. While the stories are linked, they fail to form a cohesive whole. Each story exists independently, with their connections appearing forced and manufactured. The film suggests a deep mythology surrounding Halloween and its traditions, but doesn't dedicate enough time to fully flesh out these concepts into something satisfying or logical. Consider Sam, the film's eerie mascot tasked with enforcing Halloween's rules. He is an intriguing visual presence, a childlike figure with a burlap sack over his head, using a candy-filled sack as a weapon. Yet his role in the narrative is largely symbolic rather than significant. Sam sporadically appears throughout the movie, more as a repeating visual motif than an actual character. His actions and motivations remain unclear, which could have been interesting, but ends up feeling like a missed opportunity to delve deeper into the film's universe lore. The movie also falls short of fully utilizing the rich tapestry of Halloween folklore it seeks to depict. There are nods to various traditions and superstitions. However, these elements often feel like mere adornments rather than integral parts of the storyline. The film's approach toward folklore seems haphazard, selecting elements that fulfill immediate needs without incorporating them into a larger narrative structure. As such, Trick or Treat feels less like an homage to Halloween's dark history and more like an assortment of half-formed ideas that never quite coalesce into something rewarding. The film's visual aesthetics are impressively strong with its use of shadows, dim lighting, and autumnal colors, crafting a setting that is both familiar and eerie. However, it lacks the necessary depth and intensity to maintain a sense of fear and anticipation in viewers. The movie's pacing significantly contributes to this issue. The quick shifts between stories and tones prevent any single narrative from building a sustained atmosphere of tension. Each story has its chilling moments, but these are fleeting due to the film's episodic structure, resulting in a fragmented and uneven feel. The film's dependence on humor weakens its ability to generate authentic fear. There's an almost playful, campy tone to much of Trick or Treat, which, while amusing in small doses, ultimately undermines its attempts at creating genuine horror. The movie seems uncertain if it wants to be a serious horror film or a tongue-in-cheek tribute to genre cliches, leading to a tonal inconsistency that impedes full immersion into the film's world. In many ways, Trick or Treat feels like a movie conflicted with itself. It possesses all the elements for an excellent horror anthology: an evocative setting, an intriguing concept, and Sam, a memorable mascot. However, it lacks the narrative unity, psychological depth, and sustained atmosphere necessary for realizing its potential. For those seeking a film that delves deep into the human psyche, exposing the darkest fears lurking within, Trick or Treat might fall short. The movie's major flaw is perhaps its reluctance to take risks. It sticks too closely to familiar horror cliches without daring enough to venture into unexplored territory. It tends to err on the side of caution, relying on a blend of humor and horror that never quite strikes the perfect balance. As a result, it feels more like a series of mildly unsettling campfire stories rather than a truly chilling tale. Trick or Treat will likely appeal to those who enjoy light-hearted, visually appealing horror with a nostalgic nod towards Halloween traditions. For those hoping for a deeply unsettling and terrifying experience, this film may not deliver as expected. Despite moments of charm and creativity, the film struggles to deliver sustained fear and the emotional depth necessary for standing out in the genre. As a viewer, I found myself wishing for a more engaging and cohesive narrative, one that would fully exploit the film's unique premise and offer a more satisfying exploration of the suggested themes that were never fully explored. Trick or Treat is a supernatural comedy horror that is 1 hour and 22 minutes long and is rated R. I had high hopes for this movie, but it didn't live up to my expectations. The Southern Underworld gives it 3 bloody knives. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you for watching.